Welcome to the Red Raider Coaches Show. I'm your host, Joe Hayes, and I'm here with our head varsity football coach, Keith Goss. And Coach, I feel like I'm about to explode out the seams. I hope Raider Nation and yourself are ready. I got about 9,000 questions, so we about to have a church sermon in here. I would say that dinner may be a little late tonight, but we're going to get through it as quick as possible. And Coach, before we get started, I got a list of sponsors here that I would like to give recognition to. And Raider Nation, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for our support with all our sponsors to the Red Raider Touchdown Club. And Coach, this year has just been phenomenal.
It's been great, the amount of support coming out of this community, especially with all the things we faced. And I'm sure we'll get into that in just a few minutes. But it's really a blessing, and it's just amazing to be a part of this community right now.
It's really a big uplift too, I think mentally and physically for a lot of people that to see this kind of reaction going on. And I know for me, it just makes me even more proud to be part of Bacon County football and Bacon County, Alma, Georgia for that fact.
Absolutely.
Because as difficult at times as we've faced, and we all have, everyone in the community, we've all felt this. This isn't something that I don't think a single body in this county hasn't had some form of an impact of this. So for these people to rise up during these times is pretty big in my book, and I know it is yours, and it is for our program as well.
That's right. It's a special place.
Platinum sponsors. This is our largest sponsorship, Coach. This is a top tier level. They get their sign on the logo on the field. Just a lot of perks with this package, and I say it's the elite of the elite. This is our biggest contributors to the program. The ones that we have this year, the most we've ever had, which is huge. It's a new record. We've never had this many, Coach. So for our platinum sponsorships this year, we want to thank Industrial Forge. Their team is always faithful. They have been longtime supporters of Bacon County football. I would say they are probably, in the last decade, I know their contributions have been every single year. They don't fail, and anything that we need on our side, they're just always eager to help, and just the friendliest people. So we want to thank Industrial Forge. We want to thank Parker Food Mart. I know everybody in town has probably stopped in there and got them a pork chop and piece of pizza.
That's right. When I was new to town, I was just amazed the quality of food that you can get in there.
It is.
I was, I'd never really experienced that too much out of a gas station, but I became a regular visitor.
Absolutely. I had a worker one time make fun of me, and he's like, "You gonna stop in here and get food? You really?" And actually, it was my boss. He was from South Florida, and he's like, "You gonna eat gas station food?" I said, "Yeah, this isn't normal gas station food, and their staff is always so friendly. They just unbelievable food. Ate there today, got me a piece of pizza and a drink, and enjoyed that today. So, we definitely want to thank them. Get your fuel there, support them any way you can. And again, Parker Food Mart, anytime we've ever reached out to them, another long-time contributor for our program. This is their second year going into a platinum sponsorship, so we're so very thankful for those guys to step back up and commit again this year with a platinum sponsorship. Our third is Southside Church of God. They're a new one coming up to the platinum level. Huge, they really, Coach, have been a big part of our program, and I know they were that one outlet that we always had. If we got in a bind, like, they would come and help out. If we needed a worker, somebody would come, or if we needed a speaker to come speak with the boys, they would come. I can go on and on, just always offering, is there anything I can do to help? Is there anything that we can do? And not a lot of churches are able to do that. So for me, and I know you as a coaching staff, that level of support, it means a lot.
It means it's just everything.
It does, and especially when it comes to the boys and to talking and giving spiritual guidance and those type things. I know for me as a booster, those things are very, very important. And we want to thank them again for stepping up this year real big and making that commitment to our program. Next, we want to thank Titan Modular Systems. another huge sponsor, been part of our program for several years now. They donated when they first built the facility here, and we built the school. They gave the building for the football team to use, which we store our mower that you mow the field,
right,
and your first down markers and just all kinds of stuff. And
yeah, there's a ton of things. That's a useful building, and you got to have one out there.
And the value of that to me, is priceless. I mean, for someone to donate something of that value and still come in and be a platinum membership, Coach, I mean,
that's a big deal.
It's few and far between,
Absolutely.
That people can step up and make that kind of commitment to our program. And, and they're the same thing. If we ever need anything, we can call down there, their team, their staff, their people will do anything for Raider Nation. I love how they help us market, and, they never hesitate to put out on social media. And, today that means a lot. It's huge. It's kind of the hot thing going, and they help us to get the hype going, and I surely appreciate it, and the Touchdown Club appreciates it, and everything they do. And again, we thank them for their support. Last, we got another new one that stepped up this year to the platinum level, and Anytime Fitness. And Coach, I know for you might argue this may have been a portion of probably the most important side, because what we're going to lead into coming up, it's going to be on that topic. But they stepped up during a time when the players during this pandemic couldn't come down here and couldn't work out in the weight room.
Correct.
And they opened their doors. They legally could, and we had facilities for our players to go down there and work out.
Yeah, that was a big deal. Just our guys. The regular gyms across Georgia were able to open up almost a full 2 months before we were, or a month and a half before we were allowed to in a school system.
Right.
So to have our guys, them open the doors to our guys and get 4 or 5 of them in at a time and schedule it out through the day. Them working with us, that was a big deal, and we definitely appreciate it. And our guys, were able to continue to lift, which is, big guys beat little guys, strong guys beat weak guys, fast guys beat slow guys.
That's right.
So it's a big part of football.
Well, I think the community's seen it, and they're part of this. Anytime Fitness is a part of this, and everybody's talking about, even past players, what's going on in the weight room is legit. They're seeing it in these videos that you're posting on the football page, and on how strong they are, these ninth graders. These boys are putting in some work, and there's some of them in there that they're getting after it. And Anytime Fitness was a big contributing factor for us to not get behind, and for our team, our players, to get in there and get ahead really of the game. And I hope that's going to be a difference maker in the season. And
I do as well. We had, like I said, an opportunity to get him in there. Coach Owens is doing a great job in the middle school. He's modeling his workouts now the best way he can with the equipment he has,
right,
with what we do. And that's important. So those guys are coming to me with a little more understanding of what I want, and we're able to build upon that. And that's why we're in a position where we already have 2 ninth graders. They're at the Red Raider level, which is over 800 pounds on 3 lifts.
And that's big. I mean, that, for an upcoming ninth grader, that's strong. And again, we want to thank Anytime Fitness for their help with this, and and stepping up during a very uncertain time, and supporting us in that way, and their team, and like I said,
and making that commitment.
That's right.
Yeah, there was no guarantees at that time that we were having football, and for them to step up and be willing to do that, when there was no guarantees that we were getting the opportunity to play, that's pretty special.
And it's, to me too, Coach, it says a lot about them and their care for the players and their health, because we all need to be in there. I know I need to be in there and could afford to shave off 30, 40 pounds. It wouldn't hurt me a bit, but to see them to care about the kids and the youth of Bacon County in that way, it means a lot with me. And so we want to thank them, and I'm going to run down this last list of our gold sponsors real quick, and I won't bog you down as long with all of these. We'll kind of run right on through them, but we want to thank Boatwright Trucking and Record, Woody Folsom, Larry Waters, Daniel and Cassie Moore, State Farm. We got BRT, or Burt CPA, BYRT, excuse me.
That's right.
Mr. Larry.
Mr. Larry,
he's going to get on second. So let me correct myself. So Burt CPA and another big contributor that you know has stepped up in many ways. Clean Air and Electric, F&B Golf Classic, Bennett and Johnson, the Alma Telephone Company, Joe and Laura Hayes, Pineland Bank, Jay's IGA, and I believe that's all. If I miss some, Coach, we'll get them covered in next week and make sure that you guys get the recognition you deserve. And we definitely want to thank all our gold level sponsorships.
And I mean that list, you know, some of those lists were still growing as of yesterday.
Yes.
So if we do miss you this time around, I promise we'll get caught up with it.
I just got a text actually right now for a black level sponsorship.
Which is great.
One of the players' parents just stepped up and purchased a black sponsorship. So you know, right now it's coming. It's nonstop. So we're thankful. And you know, Coach, that says a lot about our touchdown club. I know. You know, I told you we may run into the pandemic, but while we're on this topic and these packages and this stuff, you know, let's talk about what we got going on in the Touchdown Club. And
let me tell you about our Touchdown Club. I'll go on record saying I'll put our Touchdown Club up against any touchdown club in the country. The amount of work that these men and women and community members put in is second to none. You know, John Hughes, Miss Lisa Hughes, Mr. Larry Heath, Carver, Jason Taylor, you, your wife, and I know I'm probably missing one or two in there as well. Mr. Harper, Miss Tim Harper.
Tim Harper. Is it Kylie?
Kylie.
Yeah, she's been kind of helping and putting in a lot of work.
There's been a lot of work, and I know I'm probably missing one or two. You know, anytime we ask Brent Johnson to do anything, he's right there as well. So, and trust me, I've thrown him about 5 curveballs this week already. He's knocked every last one of them out of the park.
Well, he saved me today too as well. I threw him a helpline out there and said, "Hey, I need your help," and he didn't hesitate to get it. And you know, Coach, in those names that you mentioned, like John and Lisa, you know, I know Lisa has Julie's Specialties.
That's
and
right.
John has State Farm, and there are also contributors in there. But like the work that they do, and like Julie's preparing, we got this new swag. So this is the first time y'all get to see it, Coach. This is the first time you got to see it.
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen it. Well, I got a picture of the hat on a group chat, but you know, that's really nice stuff. It's not too different from what we're going to wear on home games on Friday night.
So we'll be matching the coaches. That's a good thing.
The hat's a little different.
Yeah.
But as far as, you know, y'all are pretty close to what we're wearing. Ours is Under Armour because we're you know, we're an Under Armour team.
But no, Lisa and Brandon there at Julie's Specialties, they getting all this swag, if you want to call it, up for us. And I was excited, got mine today. Couldn't wait to put it on. You know, I'm ready for Bacon County football. And Mr. Mark Cohen, he's another one that's big in getting these shirts and
done just a ton behind the scenes, getting things ordered and put together. It's really not possible to operate on the level we do without so many people that pitch in our community.
Well, it is, and Coach, it's crazy because you don't necessarily see. You know, I know some people see me because I'm a little more of the face. You're kind of a face of the program. We're up front, but like what happens behind the scenes, and you got people like Jason Taylor that's just out killing it. You know, he's promoting stuff on social media. He's out collecting packages and selling packages and delivering stuff.
And these same people were out here Tuesday night, along with my coaching staff, just
11 o'clock.
So 11 o'clock, putting a new sign up on the front of the press box, hanging up
flags,
all the flags, and putting up the sponsorship banner. So it's, you know, there's just a ton going on. I mean, right now as we speak, the sponsorships are going down on the field. My coaches are out there spray painting that, and I'm confident they're doing a great job. You know, there's something every day.
Yeah.
And it's but that's what you put into it when you want to see it grow.
Yeah.
And on that note, our team has grown.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you'll get to that
Yeah.
later. But there's a ton of work being put in by a lot of people to make this program something this community can be proud of.
That's right. He's working on the signs and doing artwork, all that stuff, and I count my blessings every day that our mayor and Mr. Larry Taylor is involved in our program. He is hustling. He's got his plate full to manage this city, and for him to take time to me and come and do what he can on his spare time for us. And these people aren't getting paid.
No.
This is volunteer labor, and what they do. You got to love it. And I love Bacon County football. There's no denying that. But to be in a touchdown club and have the privilege of having a mayor be involved in the resources, the networking, and the people that he knows, it's very, very helpful and beneficial to us. And to me, he is a priceless asset. And Tim Harper and his family and what they do and what goes on with our administration and them being involved. I mean, we can go on and on.
The administration, Superintendent
Miss Judy has been
just been a great help. Miss Martin, Coach Brown, who pulls double duty as our assistant principal and my assistant head coach, defensive back coach. I don't know how many more titles or jobs he can have, but he just does a wonderful job. We're really blessed that the guys we were able to bring in last year, we were able to add Coach Thomas this year, and Coach Gomez we brought up from the middle school. We had a solid staff, and we were able to build upon it.
Yeah.
And that's exciting that the administrative support is there from the superintendent, from the principals, that we're able to go out and get other quality people in this community.
Yeah.
Coach Thomas and his wife, Mrs. Coach Thomas, because she's coaching softball. They are just two wonderful young math teachers. Both going to be wonderful coaches in our system, and so we're definitely excited to be able to pick up people like that.
Yeah.
Mr. Coach Thomas is the only person I've ever known to make a perfect score on the math case.
Oh, wow.
You can make a 300, and he made a 300.
Wow. So he was athletic and smart.
Well, his wife was definitely athletic. He's definitely smart.
You got to give him a hard time.
Yeah, I like to poke a little fun at him. She's got 10 state championship rings from high school. He's got one from coaching in high school. He got one as a high school coach.
Well, we're glad to have him here and him bring that knowledge here to Bacon County, and especially in the classroom. We all say football is important, but at the end of the day, getting good quality teachers too, that's definitely the top of the goal here and what we're trying to obtain and teach these men to be good young men. And Raider Nation, I know you didn't tune into this just hear us brag on all kind of people, but I don't think we do it enough. I don't.
No, Coach, I mean there's times where we get caught in the grind.
Yeah.
And it just stays busy, and that's life.
It is.
But I couldn't be prouder to be a Red Raider and be in this community.
Absolutely.
And the people that we've brought in to work here, and the people here that are already here that want to make it better and want more. And we're going to continue to try to build it together.
Coach, let me ask you something. The last one, we'll end on this right here. Does this support and kind of what we got going on, does it resonate to the players? Do you feel anything down there? Do they see or feel kind of anything that's going on?
They feel, they don't really understand it all.
Yeah.
And they're high school kids.
Yeah.
They shouldn't. But they do. They feel the buzz in the air.
Yeah.
They feel the excitement. They understand the level of support and the things that's going on in the community, and how many people are talking about football right now, and talking about the growth and them physically, and then the growth in numbers.
Yeah.
All things that we're working on building, and hopefully we'll continue to build them.
Amen to that, Coach. Well, let's go and take a quick break. That was a pretty long segment, so when we come back, Coach, we'll talk about the pandemic a little bit, and then we'll go into what you guys have been doing to prepare to start season and the difficulties you faced, and then we'll end talking a little bit about ACCO that we'll be facing tomorrow night. Raider Nation, we'll be right back after this short break so we can get our sponsors a little bit of recognition. Welcome back to the Red Raider Coaches Show. Well, Coach, I know I kind of drug it out there in the beginning, and I said I got 9,000 questions, and I think I got 9,000 more. So let's go into this next segment.
Right.
Coach, we have definitely went through some difficult times as an educator, as a high school football coach, as a husband, as a father. We've went through some interesting times with COVID-19. We all went down on lockdown. School was canceled at the end of last year. You were having a phenomenal soccer season, best record in Bacon County history.
And I hate that for those guys because
Yeah.
they really bought into changing the soccer program and elevating it.
Yeah.
And so they were on a great run. They were 5-0-1,
Yeah.
I believe, and God, I wish they could have got the opportunity to finish the season.
Baseball ended, and
They were
it
having
was
a
a lot
great
of
season.
They were,
and tennis too. I think
Yeah.
I think all three of those teams were in the top 10 in AA when it came to an end. And frustrating and sad, not just for the kids but the coaches as well. When you're building things up from the ground level and that spark catches, and the kids start understanding your expectations, why you have those expectations, what we're doing all this for, and then the season get taken away. But I will say, we were fortunate enough to have one of our soccer players, go on to college,
Yeah.
and I'm hearing they're actually going to pick up a second one.
okay.
So for those guys, that's pretty cool.
It is. Coach, and I felt for the seniors of that season, and but we got through it. And life isn't always fair, and that's something we have to understand. The world changed as we know it, and it's the first time in all of our lifetimes, whether you're 80 years old or you're 2 years old, we were all affected, and it just wasn't Alma, it just wasn't Georgia, it wasn't just the United States. This was a global epidemic, so it was felt worldwide through the medical fields and financial, and just when everything shut down, it changed everything as we know it. And now we're trying to get back into the new norm. I don't know that things will ever get back to where they were, but I know you've faced a lot of difficulties as we went through the shutdown, and then when we come out of working our way out of that, the administration comes back, they set a plan for the school system, and we've done a phenomenal job with that and trying to figure out how we can finally get graduation underway, and are we going to be able to start sports, and GHSA got involved, and you just got all these wheels turning. Everybody's trying to figure out, at the same time you're trying to keep your family safe at home, you're trying to, there's a lot going on.
The challenges were definitely many. We started off this summer, and I want to say we were running 4 to 5 different groups in the weight room. Just to get them in there and not have a bunch of guys in there at one time. And so, it was what it just is what it is.
Yeah.
But it was starting off working the summer like 14-hour days, because you had to bring some of them in before they were going to work here, and then some of them were coming in at night.
Yeah.
And that's what you had to do to separate them all out.
Coach, you had to, after a player got through working out, you had to fully sanitize the bench, you had to sanitize the bar, the weights,
wipe it down,
everything.
spray it down. We had every player had to be their temperature had to be taken before they could come in. If there was any question, we had to send them home. If we sent one home and they screened out of the screening questions, they were out for a week, or they had to go to the doctor and
get tested.
Yeah. But I tell you back, it was 2 weeks at the beginning.
Yeah.
Now with school, it's The school screens everybody out a week. But you know, we've been very fortunate. You know, we really haven't had, yeah, I know. We haven't had some of the issues that other programs have had yet, and hopefully that's due to everybody, you know, taking precautions.
The proper precautions that need
you know,
to be.
we're spraying down helmets in the locker room every night.
Yeah.
We're cleaning the weight room after every class works out, and so it's changed the way we worked out. The same routine I was doing last year, where people would be cycling through it, and you know, one would lift, one would do one auxiliary, one would do another auxiliary, and one would be spotting there before the station. You can't really work out that way anymore. You gotta, you know, you might have 3 at a station, and one person's lifting, and 2 people are spotting from the side. And then when you call a second person, both those people do the auxiliary. Then when you're done with that, I mean, everybody's cleaning before the next group, you know.
Well, Coach, I commend you and your staff and the administration here at Bacon County School System of what you've guys done, and you have went the extra mile to ensure that our children are remaining safe through all of this COVID-19 issues, and you guys staying safe and protected as well, and keeping our staff. And you know, I know we've had few little hot spots here and there within the community, and it could easily happen right here as well. And you know, I commend what you guys are doing and continuing to ensure that safety of our children. And you know, we're just thankful that we can play football, Coach. You know, I think a lot of us thought that this day would not come this year, that it just right. I know Brent and I, we chatted back and forth several times that he's like, do you think it's going to happen? And you know, I'm like, my gut feelings kind of no, or my, you know, it just.
Well, you know, I never, I was really never in doubt that we would have some type of season.
Yeah.
2 things you don't want to mess with in South Georgia's football and church, and they already mess with church.
Yeah.
So I just figured they weren't going to take a chance on messing with both.
Church and football, we might have it'd be a revolution.
Yeah, you get bad down here.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But anyway. Tough times, Coach. We've come out of that. You know, I think we've come out way ahead. I think it shows in what we discussed at the beginning with our community and our sponsors and our touchdown club and everything we got in the weight room and the players and the workout, what we got going and building up. You know, I know you guys didn't get in any 7-on-7s this summer. You didn't get any camps. So really, it was basically like almost school starts, all right, we're going to start football practice. So it kind of goes back to some of the old days when camps really weren't out there. So it's kind of.
It was different in the fact that, I mean, you could, starting in, I think it was July, you could use a football, or we could at that point. So, you know, you got about a month of work before school started, and you were kind of tuning up, thinking like, you know, as soon as we got in pads, we were thinking we might be scrimmaging 2 weeks later. But then it got pushed back.
Yeah.
The season got pushed back, and then they took away the scrimmage games. So really, we went from, you know, we got to hit, we got to get in shape, to now we got to scale back a little bit with what we're doing, because now we got a month before our first game.
Yeah.
And we got to kind of change gears here. And so we did. We alternated days we were, you know, in full gear and you know, didn't just beat them up and beat them to death. And tried to be smart about the way we practiced, and still getting the most out of them, but, you know, trying to be efficient in the way we kept them out there.
Coach, you know, the good part, I know we lost the scrimmages and we didn't get the 7-on-7s and that stuff, but we do have non-region opponents.
Right.
So we've got ATCO coming in tomorrow night. I say a big game. I feel like the community, where the hype level is right now, that there's going to be a big turnout. I think people are seeing the kids in the community, and they're seeing them on Facebook and these workout videos. There's definitely excitement there. And, you know, ATCO, there was a long span where we just kind of ran over them. Well, they got a new coach. The last 2 years, they've made a turn. They've been on an uphill climb, and they've had pretty good-looking teams, and you know, and they did pretty well.
Right.
What can we expect? What can Raider Nation expect out of seeing ATCO tomorrow night? You know, where are they going to be this year?
You know, they got a large senior class. They got 20 kids, 21 kids.
Wow.
Which is a great class for a single A,
Yeah.
you know, senior class. Their junior class behind it, you know, is much smaller than their sophomore class. They're really senior heavy on the guys that they expect to make a difference for them.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, you know, their first couple guys, they're very athletic. They, you know, 1, 2, number 7. Number 14, they're all real good ball players. Sorry.
That's all right. That's a good thing about live TV, Coach.
Yeah, you never know.
We got to
what's
keep it
gonna happen.
interesting.
I probably should have
Make sure they still awake out there.
Probably should have cut that down. So yeah, my bad.
But they,
you know,
as far as they got quite a few good skill players, some players with some size.
And they got some big guys left.
Yeah.
I mean, they were huge up front last year. About half those guys graduated. I knew they got. I was actually, you know, texting back and forth with Coach McGowan today, and they had some kids transferring from California.
Oh, how convenient.
Well, no, I mean they just moved to town.
Okay.
The father, it's legitimate. He's not one of those.
I got you.
It's not a
the
fly
number
by.
one quarterback.
It's
Conveniently
it
transfers to our school.
Yeah, it's nothing like that.
Okay.
But you know, they're excited to get, you know, football players in their school, and
it would you know, even our school. Anytime we see a new kid walk in,
yeah, we're like, oh,
and like, whoa, he's pretty big.
he's
Whoa,
pretty
you
big,
play
yeah.
football.
You play football.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. That's you know, that's what we're going to see.
Okay. Offensively, what can we expect to see with them? What are they going to run?
They're going to be, you know, they're going to do some quarterback run. They'll take some shots down the field with those athletes I talked about.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of quarterback ISO and then running some zone to the running back. Just they have quarterback sweep, and then, you know, off that quarterback sweep action, they'll have all verts, or they'll go vert out, and really just try to put number 7 in space.
I got you. Defensively, they pretty much in the same defensive scheme that they played last year. They changed it up to
they're very similar. Coach is going to do what Coach does.
Well, I know you have to adjust to your skill level sometimes, so I didn't know if they made any changes there.
There wasn't a need for them to yet. They still got some big boys up front.
I got you.
You know, Coach might have to get a little more creative, and you know, his next classes aren't quite as big, but he's still got some big guys up front.
Well, good deal. Well, Coach, I know you guys and your coaching staff took the time to go over last week and check out their scrimmage and see them for that, and you know, and just get prepared, get our team prepared this week of what we were going to face. And we thank you. And, Coach, another, you know, real exciting thing that we got going on. We'll kind of end on ATCO, but I think has been a huge part of this momentum that's been building, and some of the pandemic, I think, has allowed time for us to prepare this. But let's talk about the Wall of Fame a little bit. Like,
yeah, that was something we started talking about and working on. You know, I had a lot of support once again from the Touchdown Club members, and a lot of the legwork done by a lot of other people besides me. You know, coaching 3 sports, there's not a lot of free time to do the research. Plus, you know, I'm newer to the community. I had to really lean on some of the guys that have, you know, been here and lived here their whole life, and known these great players that have come through. There's been good teams and great teams in Bacon County's history, and there's some of them I just have felt that they've been forgotten.
Yeah.
And you know, we have a tradition here. We have good players here. We've had good teams and great teams here, and people need to know that.
That's right.
And the players need to know that they're part of something better than what they thought they were.
Coach, I got so excited as a Bacon County fan, like every week when this stuff started coming out, and some like hearing these running backs and the numbers, and it's like, you know, I've been part of Bacon County football, and I never even heard of some of these names. And I'm like, how does this happen? How is this even possible? And the Wall of Fame now is taking that completely out of equation.
Right. You know, we went back and some people donated some films that were on reel to reel, and you know, I think it's just awesome for somebody to see their dad or their granddad, you know, in a different light. They never saw him as a young man competing on the field, and all of a sudden they can flip on that footage from, you know, the 70s and 60s and 50s. How old was the oldest one, from the 50s?
Yes, like 58.
58.
Yeah.
And be able to see their dad or their granddad in a different light as a young man, you know, fighting, scratching, clawing, and you know, see a piece of his youth. I think that's just a special thing.
It is, and it really hit me with exactly what you're saying. Heath Carver, you know, we were in a touchdown club meeting, and we're sitting there talking about it, and that a picture was posted of his father, and he said that's the first time in his life that he ever seen his dad in a Bacon County uniform. And Heath being a player, a former player, and playing here at Bacon County, and to be able to see a picture of his dad in a Bacon County uniform, it hit me in that moment of just how special this whole ordeal was.
Right.
And I mean, I had other moments. I mean, you know, we know, but it takes something like that makes it really resonate and touch, and so many people in the community. It just was a huge talk, Coach. We thank you for your support with it. We're super excited where we're going to go this season with it. And Coach, if it wasn't for you and the others out there to get this thing lifted off the ground, and I think it's a great thing for Bacon County.
And some of the, I even know, like, one of the coaches that was reached out to, and I didn't get a chance to have the conversation with him. I was just told after the fact that he was like, wow, you know, he was just floored. He was like, you know, I had thought that everybody had forgotten about me.
Yeah.
And you know, just to feel appreciated in the time that you put into a community and the people, and you know, it's exciting.
It is, and just there was so many players and teams that needed recognition, and I think one of the last exciting factors that have come out of this, Coach, is, you know, I think the old newspaper building had burnt down, and some records were lost, and other things happen. Film gets thrown away. You move from a school, things don't pick up from there, and move to here. So data gets lost, and you rely on certain people. But we got to a point where it was just like, okay, from 1970 to 1958, like, what happened? Like, what records? What's the, you know, the most passing yards by a quarterback in Bacon County history? What's the most yards rushed in a season by a Bacon County running back? What's the most total yards over a 4-year period, you know, by a running back? And we were able to pull all this data. Some we knew, like the longest field goal, right, which was held by Mr. Marty Metters for, I think, roughly 38 years. And almost made it to 40 years. So one of the longest standing records that we, you know, that was one we kind of knew, but some of this other stuff we just didn't. And we were able to go back and research this and come up with that information. And, you know, to me, I think it's going to give something for these players to pick up on, and they can see, all right, the all-time single season rushing record. If I'm a running back, I'm a competitive guy.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I want to be the guy.
Yeah, me and you are playing Go Fish. I want to beat you in Go Fish.
That's right.
I mean, that's just how I'm wired, and I know you're wired the exact same way. So if you've got that right there in front of you, and we know that our players are competitive, we know they want to win, and if you see that and you know where that number is, and you set a goal, and he puts it on his mirror and he says, all right, I want to achieve this, I think ultimately that's probably one of the most important factors. Yes, we needed to get recognition. Yes, these teams and these players, but for the future generations to come and the legacy of Bacon County football.
It gives people, you know, things to shoot for.
It does. And again, behind the scenes, man, the guys that put in this work, Coach, and I know the committee, everybody kind of just kept this. This isn't a one person or a one thing or a Coach Goss or any. This was a community effort to assemble this and to make this come together, and for that to happen. You know, we don't want to point all the recognition to one place or one thing. You know, we want it to be something that this community is proud of and takes pride in, and I know it's opened my eyes to see exactly the success of our Bacon County football. And Coach, I know I've run this long, and I said I got 9,000 questions, so maybe the next 4,000 next week we can hit in the next meeting. Brent, we thank you for your time. We thank BCTV, what they do for Bacon County football. We're going to end there. Raider Nation, come on, let's show up, show out. We need to follow our COVID guidelines. In the case, if you can't social distance, you need to wear a mask. We are coming into a stadium. I suggest you bring a mask in case you are put into a position, whether you're in the restroom or you go into the concession stand or anything like that, that you can throw that mask on, or even sitting in the stands. You may be in a tight area quarter. So let's do everything that we can. We want to see us to be able to complete the season. You know, we want to keep our fans safe. We want to keep our football team safe. We want to keep our school and our community and our children. Everybody stay safe out there. You can come. I know BCTV will be broadcasting the game as well, so you can join in there on NFHS to support them. You got to get a membership. Brent, what does that cost? Can you?
Seasonal membership is, a year-long annual membership is $69.99.
Okay.
And you can pay by the month or a lump sum, but that's for about 50, 60 broadcasts. It's not just football, it's basketball, baseball, softball.
Yep.
And you can watch, that's playoffs, and you can also watch any other team in the state that's available, that's on the NFHS network, which is about 75-80% of the schools.
Yep, and where it really is probably going to come in handy, and we don't know this yet until we come to that game week, but I know certain schools are setting their own guidelines, and let's say we go to Vidalia, and they say, we're only going to allow you 250 fans into the stadium. But that's a big limit. So, we don't know how that's going to be.
We don't know how that's going to be school by school.
So it is a good asset to have, and Brent and his production team to be able to help put this on. And what you got, Brent?
Well, I just wanted to, I struggle with the fact that there's a subscription, but it is a good service. That's a statewide service. There's so many advantages to having it. But if you think of $70, a family of four, pay tickets, eat dinner, get some snacks, that's for one game. You're going to pay $50 to $60.
And fuel to get to the game.
That's right. But that's for a whole year of what we provide. If I only did 10 games a year for football, or 12 or whatever, and that was it, that'd be one thing. But you're going to get 40, 50, 60 broadcasts from us this year. So
good deal. Well, we thank you for that.
We know we're going to get him in soccer because I got his boy on the team.
There you go. There you go. Well, Coach, we thank you. We thank you, staff. We thank the players, all the hard work you put in. I know we're all ready to see our opponent tomorrow. Good matchup, good physical football, and I know these boys right here aren't going to let us down. Will not be disappointed. So, Raider Nation, if you can come up, come on out. Tomorrow is a blackout, correct? Am I right? I think they're blacking out tomorrow. So, student body, I probably better check on that before I put it out there. I'll tell you what, I'll put it on the football page.
There you go.
So don't take my word on here. I'll post it on the football page to confirm that. But anyway, Raider Nation, we thank you. Thank you to Bacon County School System and our Touchdown Club administration, everyone else, and we will see you all tomorrow.
See you tomorrow night. Go Raiders.